The official unveiling of Raila Amolo Odinga as the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate this weekend was not a surprise to anybody. It was something expected. It was a foregone conclusion. However, there are very many political implications of this. For instance, Raila was announced, or rather the person who said Raila Tosha was the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta. That was significant. Also significant was the fact that all the 20 different political parties within Azimio who signed a pact, an agreement, unanimously agreed, without any argument, that Raila is the candidate. What that means is that Azimio la Umoja and Raila Odinga have boots on the ground in almost every corner of the country. And what that means is that this will be the team to beat. This will be the presidential candidate to beat. But we also had other very interesting sideshows. Even the response of the deputy president to this latest development was interesting and very instructive. Karibu sana to my show today, where I take a deeper look at the events from this very eventful weekend. Karibu sana and enjoy. Although it has been widely expected, still the highlight of this past weekend was the unveiling of the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate, Raila Amolo Odinga. No surprises there, but still it was a very huge event, very big event. You know, there's something I've been waiting for many political analysts to highlight to Kenyans. But it seems people are skirting around the issue. They are avoiding mentioning the obvious. And it is this. The Azimio la Moja Coalition is a juggernaut politically. It will be very difficult to stop. In other words, any competitor competing with Raila Odinga and the Azimio coalition has no option but to throw a spanner into the works. That is the only strategy that can work. Otherwise, competing par on par. What? It is like a gorilla charging at you and you want to charge back. No, that's the wrong tactic. You know this gorilla can do you a lot of damage. You cannot, for the sake of appearances, maybe your girlfriend is in the audience, you want to impress people, you cannot, for the sake of appearances, charge back. That will be the end of you. And so it is with this Azimio juggernaut. But alas, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, because I see the Kenya Kwanza coalition taking the Azimio head on, working very hard to prove to us through the media and through its propaganda machine that actually they are par on par with Azimio. They are at the same level, the same league. Wrong tactics. If indeed they're interested in winning, causing an upset in the upcoming elections, those are the wrong tactics. Even in soccer, if you're meeting a very big team and you want to cause an upset, you don't play their game, you lose. You play your own game. You disrupt their game. That's how you do it. And it is precisely the same in any battle, including politics. And this is why I found the response of Deputy President William Samoei Ruto to the unveiling of Raila as the Azimio candidate the wrong strategy, the wrong approach, because he responded emotionally in a very emotional speech, and he talked about Uhuru betraying him. He said, Yani, out of all these people who supported Uhuru and made him president in 2013 and 2017, Yani, he couldn't find anybody else to take over from him, and instead chose to go to the Mganga. I'm using Ruto's words, actually Ruto's favorite phrase for referring to Raila. That was Ruto's response. And yet, this was the perfect opportunity for the Deputy President to tell us what Kenya Kwanza can offer that Azimio can never offer. Yeah. To talk to voters directly, and perhaps even to throw a spanner into the works, to upset the rhythm of Azimio. Yeah, because the rhythm of Azimio is gaining momentum every day. You'd have looked for something to upset it. Yeah, like releasing some very explosive information, secrets or something like that. But he didn't. Instead, it was an emotional response. Instead, he stood up and he charged directly at this huge gorilla called Azimio. What? Anyway, for us older Kenyans, it was a deja vu moment. It was a moment to look and wonder and be reminded once again that in politics, anything can happen. Because right before our eyes, unfolding, was the son of Jomo Kenyatta, the man who banished Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, father to Raila, prematurely ended his political career in 1966, for no good reason other than to protect the presidency and to protect himself in the presidency from any competition. So here was the son of Jomo Kenyatta saying very loudly, very enthusiastically, that the only person who can lead Kenya after he leaves office is that very son of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, Raila Amolo Odinga. And I believe here is also a lesson for people like Kalonzo Musyoka. In politics, do everything, do anything, but don't burn your bridges. What am I talking about? Very recently, Kalonzo Musyoka said, during the day, not even at night, that he would be mad to support Raila Odinga a third time. He would have to be crazy. But that is precisely what Kalonzo Musyoka did this weekend. And everybody is talking about his earlier comment. He burnt that bridge to the ground. And now he has been forced, or rather circumstances are such that he needs to cross that river again to go to Raila Odinga. And the bridge which was there he has already burnt. And therefore as he struggles with his boat, onlookers and spectators can only shake their heads. Oh yes, never burn your bridges in politics. Never ever. Because you're not God. You don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Anyway, the coronation of Raila, as you are telling us, was a very historical moment and very emotional moment for many of us older Kenyans. because we're able to look back and to look at the present and make many comparisons and observations. But you see, Kenyans hate history so much that many of us are busy trying to rewrite history. You will see regularly in the media people saying, if Raila does not get at least 40%, there's another even more interesting percentage the other day on this channel, and I asked the person how he arrived at such a precise percentage. Somebody was saying, if Raila does not get 34% of Mount Kenya, kwisha maneno, Raila will lose the presidential elections. And I asked them, how did you arrive at that percentage? How did you even arrive at that conclusion? Because that conclusion completely ignores history. What has happened in the past? Because many people believe Raila won the elections in 2007, presidential elections, without any votes from central Kenya and the Mount Kenya region. Fewer people believe he won in 2013, without any votes from central Kenya, Mount Kenya region. The Supreme Court of Kenya, by nullifying the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta, were telling us that they too believe Raila won the 2017 presidential elections without any votes from Mount Kenya. So how can you come and now start telling us that Raila needs 34% from Mount Kenya to win? Where did you get that? He has won before without votes from this region. Actually, if we can cut to the chase, Raila can win the presidency with 0% votes from Mount Kenya. That is the naked truth. Now I can hear somebody asking me, if what you're saying is true, Chris, why is the Azimio la Umoja and Raila Odinga so determined about harvesting votes from the Mount Kenya region? If they're not that important, why are they spending so much time and resources? Why are they doing everything in their power to ensure that Mount Kenya region is behind Azimio? Why? Now, to answer that question, I would start by asking a question, another question. And my question is, who needs Mount Kenya region more? Raila Odinga or Uhuru Kenyatta? And the answer to that question is that it is Uhuru Kenyatta, not Raila. Why? Because Uhuru Kenyatta is going to remain in politics after 2022. And there's no way he can continue to be relevant and powerful in Kenyan politics if he does not get the whole Mount Kenya region with him and voting with him. That is the truth. And that is why Central Kenya and the Mount Kenya region is so critical to the Azimio la Moja Coalition. Let us appreciate that secret today. That region is very important for the future political career of Uhuru Kenyatta. That's the truth. And I will tell you something else. The fact that the Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto, chose to raid the President's bedroom in his bid for the presidency, that is very annoying. That is a direct insult on the face of the President. That's really what it is. There's no other way you can look at it. And therefore, the President has got no option but to regain control of his bedroom. That is the reality. And that is why in these forthcoming presidential elections, the battle for Mount Kenya will not be between the two big boys. It will not be between Raila and Ruto. The battle for Mount Kenya will be between Uhuru and Ruto. Oh yes. And there's yet another political lesson to take home here. Even if you dharau somebody and you believe they have no ability, they are useless, they cannot do anything, you don't ever do it. Show your madharau the way the Deputy President has done. The way I would have done it is chini ya maji, quietly. I'd have made a very huge effort to ensure that nobody realizes, or rather very few people realize what is happening. until it is too late. You are very close to the elections, when they can do very little about it. But when you mock somebody by going into their bedroom, you show somebody madharau, and yet this person is your current boss, what do you expect? I mean, you just tell me, what do you expect? That person, whoever they are, will do everything and anything in their power to get back at you and to get back their bedroom. I think we need to understand human nature, and it needs to be above our personal emotions. Yeah, when you're in politics, you know, there are things you don't do in life, let alone in politics. And I've noticed from my own life, and from the experiences I've been through personally, and from what I've seen with other people, that whenever you show somebody madharau, it always catches up with you. You end up finding yourself in a situation whereby you have to go to the very same people you mocked and belittled for help. Things work out such that you have nowhere else to go except to those very same people you mocked and belittled. That's life. And that is why I wonder many times, who advises the deputy president? And if he ignores all his good advisors, as you're being convinced he is, what is the deputy president up to? Really, tell me. Because all this is there for everybody to see. There are things you don't do in life, let alone in politics. And those things, when you do them in politics, it is just suicide. It is political suicide. There is no other expression to describe what the deputy president did in Mount Kenya to the president, to his boss. What? And therefore, it doesn't matter how the upcoming presidential elections go. In Mount Kenya region, there will definitely, without fail, be consequences for the deputy president. Ngoja tuone. And I want to make it very clear. The only reason I'm saying that is because of human nature the way I know it. Because there are certain rules of life you can never change. How will you change them? Folks, that is the reality of this life. There are some things you can never change. There are some rules in human nature. There are some rules, as far as spiritual laws are concerned, and bosses, and what to do with your boss, and how to handle your boss, even when you strongly disagree with them. There are spiritual rules you cannot break without consequences. That's what I'm talking about. So even if it was Raila today, or Kalonzo, or anybody else doing what the deputy president is doing or has done, I would say precisely the same. Okay? It is nothing to do with the deputy president personally. It is the reality of life. I know to younger people this means nothing. To younger people, sijasema kitu, but that's okay. Time will tell. Time always tells. So Raila Odinga is now the Azimio presidential candidate. It's not a surprise to anybody. But now, the real race for State House starts. Because we already know the two major presidential candidates. Kenyans across the country already know the choices they have on the table before them. Now, there's something else about this Azimio unveiling of the presidential candidate done by the President of the Republic of Kenya himself. That was very significant. There's something else about this. Once again, a man called Kalonzo Musyoka managed to sneak into the major headlines. Managed to remain relevant when something of such huge political magnitude was unfolding. And I need to congratulate Kalonzo Musyoka handlers, because they've managed to make it look like Azimio would have gone nowhere. Azimio would not have won the presidential race without Kalonzo. Well done. I clap for them. Because it is politics. It is competitive. And if you don't compete for yourself, nobody will compete for you. So well done, Kalonzo Musyoka crowd. Yeah, because many Kenyans are now convinced that actually that is true. Well, my position on that has not changed. Kalonzo Musyoka is no longer a major factor in Ukambani. Yeah, now I can hear somebody asking me, then why were Raila people so eager to get Kalonzo Musyoka on their side? You know, in politics, you also have to take very careful note of what your competitor is doing. You also have to deny your competitor any opportunity to throw a spanner into the works. Now, Kalonzo Musyoka in UDA would have thrown a spanner into the works as far as Azimio is concerned in Ukambani. That is the truth. And in my opinion, it was a smart move to make sure that UDA is denied Kalonzo Musyoka. And this is what Azimio la Umoja did, by managing to negotiate with Kalonzo and have him on their side. But all in all, we have now entered the presidential race, or the race for State House, properly. Expect a lot of fake news, expect a lot of propaganda, expect a lot of diversionary tactics going forward. All that is part of the game. And therefore it is not very easy to remain focused on the real issues and the very important issues that will impact the way Kenyans vote on August 9th. But I'm hoping, I will try my best to make sure that regulars to this channel stay focused on what really matters amid all these drama and sideshows that are ahead of us. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.